Hi, I'm Elise and welcome to My Cupcake Addiction, where on today's episode I'm going to be showing you how to make these gorgeous frozen cupcakes. These are frozen inspired on the inside and on the outside, and they come with free printable cupcake wrappers. Let's get started. To recreate your frozen cupcakes, you're going to need some frosting. I'm using our perfectly pipeable buttercream frosting in white and also in blue, and I've got that in a disposable piping bag paired with just an open star piping tip today. I'll link to our recipe in the description box below. I'm also using a Snowflake plunge cutter today, so you can use a regular cookie cutter, but these plunge cutters are great for adding in just a little bit of extra detail. I've got some food colour in blue and also a colour called bright white, a couple of spoons, some baking paper. I'm using some silver sanding sugar here today. I've also got some white fondant. I've got a rolling pin, a knife, and a little bit of cornflour. Off to the side, I've got a cupcake tray. I've also got some cupcake liners and just a straight vanilla cake mix. You can use your favorite recipe or you can use a packet mix. So you want to take your vanilla cake mix now and spread it into 3 bowls, so an even amount in each bowl. And I'm adding some of that bright white into my first bowl. Because I'm using a yellow cake here, I kind of want it to be not so yellow. So I'm adding that food coloring, or you can just use a white cake mix. Into the second bowl, I'm just going to put 1 or 2 drops of that blue colour to make a really nice light blue. And then into the third bowl, I'm going to add quite a bit of that blue food colouring, at least 3 or 4 drops, to make a nice dark blue. Stir that through until you've got all 3 of your colours. You should have a white, a light blue and a dark blue. And then you want to grab your cupcake tray and all of your cupcake liners. Starting with that dark blue, I'm just spooning about a tablespoon into the base of each of my cupcake cases so they've all got a dark blue bottom. Then you want to repeat that process by putting a light blue layer on top, and then your third colour on the very top should be a white layer. Don't overfill your cupcake cases here. You only want them to go to about 2/3 of the way up the cupcake case, and it can be tempting to put a bit too much batter in when you're working with this many different colours. Pop those off into a moderate oven as per your manufacturer's instructions and cook them until they spring back when touched in the middle. To make your snowflakes, you need that white fondant. I always use a little bit of Tylose or CMC, which is a powder substance that you add to fondant to help it set quite quickly. If you've got this, you'll need to make these about 12 hours in advance, and if you don't, you need to give them about 48 hours to fully set. Press in your snowflake cutter and kind of jiggle it around a little bit so that you separate it from that other fondant. And then you just want to plunge the cutter down, and as you pull that shape out, you're going to see that you've plunged in a really nice pattern and you've got a really nice detailed snowflake. When your cupcakes come out of the oven, you want to let them completely cool before we start decorating them. And when you cut those open, you should end up with all individually unique, slightly different ombre layered cupcakes. So your 2 different blues and your white in there. To frost those up, you want to take some of that white buttercream frosting, and I'm just using the back of my knife just to sort of squish the frosting on in a little bit of a dome. This doesn't have to be particularly neat. And then you want to roll just the edge, so just the outside sort of centimetre around the edges of your cupcake in that silver sanding sugar. That's just going to add a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of glitter, just like freshly fallen snow. Take your piping bag now, and I'm just going to pipe just a spiral of that frosting, nice and neat but not too high, on top of that white. And then you want to take one of your preset snowflakes and simply pop it on top. When you're printing out your cupcake wrappers, I recommend going with like a 210 GSM or a slightly thicker cardstock rather than a standard paper. It just helps to give them a bit more stability. All you need to do is print your wrappers, cut them out and affix them at the back with a little bit of sticky tape before popping your cupcake in. There you've got your gorgeous frozen inspired on the inside and the outside cupcakes ready to go for your next frozen party. Make sure that you check out my channel My Cupcake Addiction for lots more great ideas for frozen parties. And as always, thanks very much for watching.